special guest is Nichole Rupert, who is a professional pumpkin painter, and she's going to share with us today a variety of different skill levels of pumpkin painting just in time for Halloween. So without further ado, Nichole.
So first we're going to start with our sponge pumpkin. This one is super simple. You'll just make sure you have a plate for your paint. I like to use black. You can use any color you want. Just a little bit. You don't need a whole lot. This is outdoor indoor paint, so you can put your project outside on your steps. I think I'll start with a triangle. I took my sponge and I cut it into 5 different shapes. We have a triangle, a little rectangle type, and then vampire teeth. So we'll just dip our sponge, and then put an eye here. Maybe we can put an eye there. I used this guy for my nose. I like the rectangle here. It's a good one. You might get a little too much paint and it might be drippy, but that adds super cool effects. You can even use your sponge to make your pumpkin's mouth. And then you just dip your vampire tooth in there. We only ended up using 3 of our sponge shapes, but once you get it done and after you finish, you can clean up this drip. I just use a rubbing alcohol and I wipe it off. And then your pumpkin will look like this when you're all finished. And this is actually with a dry matte spray on it. It gives it extra protection from the rain. Well, we're going to move on to a stencil pumpkin. So I just grab a cardstock and my pencil. Make sure you have scissors. I take my pumpkin and I hold it up here. Get these little stems out of the way. They're my favorite part of the pumpkin though. And what I do is I measure. So I put a little line right here to remind myself that my stencil has to go under that. Just draw that across. You don't really have to have a ruler, it will help. Make sure you have your scissors. I think I'm just going to do a triangle eye, a circle eye, a square nose, and a funny face with 2 teeth. So your stencil will be here. I cut my paper. And you can ask for help to make sure that you get this stencil cut out safely. So what I do is I'll bend my paper just a tiny bit and snip. That'll get you started on your stencil. And then just slowly, carefully work around. And you have one eye. Make another little bend and snip. You're just going to repeat that process until you get your whole stencil cut out. Then we're going to skip right over here to my stencil that is on my pumpkin. We can use a paintbrush to do this. I've decided that I want to stick with a sponge because I feel like it's going to be super quick and I can get time to decorate the other side just in case. So I'll probably just use my square sponge because our shapes are already in our stencil. Just gonna dip it. Try not to get too much on because I don't want it to run under my paper. Just smush it right on there. Smush it. See, I still have so much paint left over. And we can just keep going. And you're just gonna smush and smush that paint out. Smush it out. You don't even have to wait till it dries. Just untape. I forgot to tell you, you're gonna wanna make sure to cut the edges. Make a little slit here so it will actually form around your pumpkin. After you're finished, just untape one side, a little bit on the top, and quickly pull it off. And you have a stencil pumpkin. I did get a little bit down here on the bottom, which I don't want that extra. So if we quickly take our napkin, and like I said, you can also use the rubbing alcohol to take this off. You can wipe this right off your pumpkin. Cleaning it up better, the alcohol will take the rest of the paint off. All right, so this time we're gonna make a unicorn pumpkin. I'm gonna use just some cardstock. I'm gonna make some ears for our unicorn. I'll set this over here for now. And take my pencil, and I'm just gonna draw 2 triangles. They can be any size you want. It's my triangles. Now, we're gonna cut them out. I've kind of prepared some items just so that way we can show you. After I cut out my triangles, I put them on a toothpick. And I painted a little bit of gold in them to give it a little definition with your unicorn. Bring it out a little bit. I also grabbed a few different stickers, so that way we can give our unicorn a nice little headband. I'm using black and gold paint. You can use any colors you want. Again, these are outdoor paints, outdoor safe. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw our unicorn's eyes. Super simple. Just nice little eyelashes. Sometimes you'll have to fix up the detail. Now our eyes are on, I'm going to go ahead and add my ears, so that way I know where I want to put my headband. And these will stab right in there with your toothpick. And of course, your stem is your horn. I'm going to use Mod Podge. This is a glue. There is a dishwasher safe Mod Podge. This is not. So when I use this Mod Podge, I make sure after I'm finished to spray my items with the Krylon matte finish. It does not have to be this brand at all. There's a ton of brands out there. This is just one that I had handy and brought. I'll take just a paintbrush and I'll dip into my Mod Podge. you're going to need a lot of Mod Podge. So just start brushing it on there. Don't be shy. Use that glue. You can do the whole unicorn's horn, or you can just do the front side. It's up to you. After you have your Mod Podge on, make sure that you have a plate or something underneath your pumpkin. Lay your pumpkin on its side. I decided I wanted to go with gold for the horn as well. So I'm just gonna open it, sprinkle my glitter on there. You can put a whole bunch because you're just gonna put it back into your container when you're finished. I like to tip it up and knock that glitter off. Fold your paper up. Put your glitter right back in there. All we have left to do is add our headband. I wanted to use hearts, so I'm gonna stick a few hearts right here. These are sticky hearts. You can get them almost anywhere. And I think I'm gonna add another white heart here. Just to add a little bit of color. I also brought some flower stickers, some rainbows, anything you have laying around, even some stars. We can throw a couple extra stars on there to bring it out a little bit more. We need to move our ear just a tiny bit. This unicorn's a little crooked. Just pull it out and stick it back in. Super simple. Okay, that one's done. We have some other ideas that we brought if you're not interested in making a unicorn and you just want to throw some glitter on stuff. I have a few pumpkins here. These guys, I used all the same items besides the paper and stickers as I did the unicorn. I used black paint, Mod Podge, glitters, and a paintbrush. Spray paint was my big thing. Base spray paint, I used black, white, and silver. You can paint over any color. There's also going to be different pictures shown for different faces and styles that you can do. And once all your creations are complete, send your pumpkin pictures to this link below, the one I'm holding in my hands. We want to see all your creations. Thank you so much.